Hi, you're listening to Light Lounge with Dimitri K, broadcasted from the city beautiful Orlando, Florida. We'll get used to listening to music in our daily life, and that has been since the beginning of the humanity. Interesting facts about it we can find in a book called Waking the Spirit, a musician's journey healing body, mind and soul by Andrew Schulman. In Egypt, the connection between music, religion and healing was so great that their priests were required to become both musicians and physicians. And nowadays, I guess it would be interesting if your physician meets you with a song. But let's see another one. This one is from 1486. Medicine heals the mind, soul and spirit by the body, but music heals the body by the mind, soul and spirit. And another one from Albert Einstein. If I were not a physicist, I would probably be a musician. I often think in music. I live my daydreams in music. I see my life in terms of music. I cannot tell if I would have done any creative work of importance in music, but I do know that I get most joy in life out of my violin. Let me think about it. He has probably been right to stay in physics. And while speaking of music, let's see who are our guests tonight.
Whoa, whoa, yeah!
Tonight from Miami, our guest composer, saxophonist Paul Messina is introducing his new album, Althea. Welcome to Light Lounge with Dimitri K. Paul.
Thank you for having me back on your show, Dimitri, and thank you so much for giving me this chance to share our new album, Althea, which is dedicated to the late Professor Althea Kaplan.
And we're listening to White Roses for Althea. Not very many artists are dedicating their albums to the memory of their music teacher. Very graceful from you. Please tell us the story.
I started playing the flute when I was 12 years old. My sister taught me the basics. And then I started playing in the junior high school band, and then went on to the marching band in high school and concert band. And then after high school, I joined the Navy. And we formed a few rock groups in the Navy. And I played the flute parts like in Marshall Tucker, Jethro Tull, Chicago. And then I was introduced to the music of Herbie Mann, which just excited me to be able to play some jazz on the flute. So when I got out of the Navy, I knew I wanted to study music formally, but I wasn't really sure how to go about that. So on my free time, I would go over to the college and sit in an outdoor stairwell next to the lake and improvised using the natural reverberation, which was really, really cool. Then one day while I was up there improvising, this lady walked up with this big grin on her face, and she motioned for me to come down and talk to her. Well, she happened to be the director of the music department and also the private flute teacher for the college. So it was pretty much right then that she took me under her wing and started guiding my early music education. So she became my private flute teacher, and I also took numerous courses with her, including music theory, contemporary composition, electronic music, physics of sound. She was just such an awesome music professor. So for instance, in her contemporary composition courses, she taught us to think outside the box and not use traditional rules. She said, go ahead and break the rules, it's okay.
Right time, right place, right person. You've got all of the above.
So on this album, we did that. We broke the rules. We used non-traditional items, let's say metal roof panels to shake and to hit and to make different effects. I used 12-inch PVC pipe and put chains all over it and then beat it with a rubber mallet, and we just different kinds of sound effects.
We can hear it from the album. So you followed the advice. What happened next?
Althea passed away in 1997, and I kicked myself in the butt for never really telling her how I felt and how I appreciated everything she did for me. So Althea, this album's for you.
Maybe a little late, but very honorable from you. We're listening to Snakes and Ladders. The first three songs of the album are inspired by music from India. In your previous album, there was none. Where did the new passion come from?
The inspiration for the first three songs, Snakes and Ladders, Serene Devotion, and Seven Seas, came from what I was talking about before about thinking outside the box, and also came from a friend of mine, Ricky Cage, who introduced me to the music from India. I love the traditional instruments, the rhythms, and the musical scales. So what we did, we mixed these elements from India with Western instrumentation and arranging techniques. Sort of like India meets jazz. So the first song, Snakes and Ladders, was inspired by the board game Snakes and Ladders, which was originally created in ancient India as Moksha Patam. Moksha Patam was invented to teach children lessons in morality and about karma. The second song, Serene Devotion, was inspired by using the Eastern Indian Todi scale to create the melodies, but in a more modern way. The third song, Seven Seas, was inspired by how important our oceans are and how we really need to keep our oceans healthy.
Well, I see where the inspiration comes from. Anytime I see the three-time Grammy winner Ricky Ketch is involved, I'm sure there will be an inspiration and thinking out of the box. He is also active in many other humanitarian projects, United Nations Goodwill Ambassador and UNICEF Ambassador. We're listening to Serene Devotion. I see three-time Grammy winner Ricky Cash arrangement on Blue Fire. I see Gary Vandy, with whom you collaborated on many of your other albums, and a group of talented musicians. Tell me something about them.
The song is actually called Blue Fire Rekindled. Ricky Cage decided to take my song Blue Fire from my previous album and rearrange it using his keyboards and awesome synthesizers. As for Gary Vandy, he's always been an inspiration and a mentor to me. We've been friends for 50 years, and he's mixed and mastered and co-produced all my albums. So every time I record a new album or a song, I think, how would Gary Vandy do this part? Or how would Gary Vandy do this? Or what would he do in this situation? and I trust his judgment. He's the one with the gold records and platinum records, and he knows what he's doing. So it's an honor to have Gary as my co-producer and partner in crime. I'd also like to give recognition to the musicians who played on this album. Tommy Paez, Greg Minnick, Jamie Glaser, Brev Sullivan, all on guitars, Mike Bogle on keyboards and trombone, Richmond Punch on electric violin, Ricky Cage on keyboards, Tim Clark on trumpet, Mark R. Harris on bass, Ignacio Nunez on percussion, Jaime Vila on drums, and Dean Ricard on drums. I'd also like to give thanks to my wife Kathy Messina for some special effects, and also my grandson Jamie Lamberti Messina on some background vocals on the song White Roses for Althea.
We're listening to Blue Fire Rekindled. With Althea added to your collection of albums, what is your next creative avenue, Paul?
That's a good question, Dimitri. The last time you asked me that, when we played my last album, I pretty much knew what I wanted to do as far as doing some more creative orchestration. And we did that on this album, especially on the song White Roses for Althea, which used extensive orchestration. It took me 8 months to compose, arrange, and record that song. But for the next project, who knows? I have no idea what we're going to do next. I just know it's going to be interesting.
And this is where thinking outside the box idea is going to help again. We're listening to Faces in the Crowd. And now, from the listeners of Light Lounge with Dimitri K, let's wish Paul Messina good luck with his new album and ask where the listeners can find it.
Thank you so much, Dimitri. It's always a pleasure to be with you on your show. I really do appreciate all your support and all you do for independent musicians. As far as where you can find the album, you can find it on iTunes, Amazon, Tidal, all the streaming platforms, and also you can download it on my website, and you can also order physical CDs on my website, which is www.paulmessina.net. Thank you again, and have a great day.
You're welcome, Paul, and good luck. Life is better than listening to a commercial radio station playing endlessly a few resembling songs. If you feel that way, you came at the right place. Light Lounge with Dimitri K plays the best award winners and independent artists around the world. And now let's listen to one new tune from Dr. Luis Anthony deLise. Close enough to perfect for me. And at the beginning of August, we're expecting from Luis Anthony deLise his latest release, Iridescence.
Hello, this is bassist and composer Christian de Mesones, and I'm hanging out in the Light Lounge with my friend Dimitri K. I wanted to share the inspiration from my latest single, You Only Live Twice. It's the title track of my new album, which will be released this fall. So, there's the obvious nod to one of my favorite James Bond films, and I am a huge fan of the franchise. But this song is also about second chances, how there are times in life when you have to start over. Perhaps you're facing financial or health challenges, or maybe a job or personal relationship has become difficult. For me personally, I've been given a second chance at love, a second chance at life, and I'm so blessed and thankful to be releasing my second solo album. The cover art features a beautiful double-neck bass guitar I designed when I was 18 years old, and certain of what my life in music was going to be. Let's just say God had other plans for me, and I'm eternally grateful for that. So here it is, my new single, You Only Live Twice. I hope you like it.
Hi, I'm Lynn Davis, and you are listening to Light Lounge with Dimitri K. And if you love old school R&B music, then you're gonna love my new single called Beautiful You from the EP Lynn Davis from the Vault. I hope you enjoy it.
Look at me, can't you see I'm in love? Ever since you came into my life, yeah, yeah, I just can't get you off my mind. Loving you takes up all my time. Remembering you, kissing your caress, the love we share together was the best. Beautiful you, you are my dream come true. keeping me warm, shelter from the pain. Your love is like a warm summer's rain. Beautiful you, you are my dream come true. Beautiful you, you're much too beautiful to be true. Boy, you're beautiful to me. Yeah, yeah. I know. You're beautiful, I love you so. Never, never, ever let you go. Oh, you're beautiful to me. Beautiful you. You are my dream come true. Beautiful you. You're much too beautiful to be true. You're beautiful, beautiful you. Love you so, never let you go, no. Oh, no. Love you so, never let you go, no. Beautiful you, boy, you. Boy, you're beautiful to me.
Hi, my name is Noshir Mody, and you are listening to Light Lounge with Dimitri K. I have a new album out called The Love Song with a wonderful cast of musicians: Benjamin Hankel on flugelhorn, Campbell Charshi on piano, Yuka Dadano on double bass, and Ronan Nitzik on drums. And then on the title track, we're also joined by the wonderful vocalist Kate Victor. The album talks about life, resilience, and the human experience while weaving together elements of jazz, blues, and some progressive rock. I've truly loved making this album, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
And from the A Love Song album, we're going to enjoy 3 tunes. What Tomorrow May Bring, The Art, and the title song, A Love Song.
Step into the rain, my love, to write a love song. You need to live, love, and lose. Look into the sun, my love, the rays of life. See it into your smile, and the lyrics of life will pass through your lips. The fragrance of friends lost and won, draped over your shoulders. An armor for the future wars of love. Let the humming in your head caress the struggles in us all. Step into the rain, my love. Step into the rain.
You're listening to Light Lounge with Dimitri K. It's time to say goodbye. And remember, hesitation is temporary, music lasts forever. Most of the artists you heard on this show are independent artists. And if you like some of them, you can Google the name and find them on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, and the rest of the digital media, and that would be a great support for them. For any comments, suggestions, and feedback, please email me at kopublishing@gmail.com. I'm Dimitri K, broadcasting from the city beautiful Orlando, Florida.